Om. 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Harion Swamiji. I'll now hand it off to one of our Booklight team to introduce Swamiji formally.
Hari Om, everyone. Although many of us are familiar with Swami Dheerananda, I would like to say a few words to humbly introduce Swamiji. Swamiji is the head of the Chinmay Mission Washington Regional Center and is originally from Hyderabad, India. Swamiji completed the Brahmachari training course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya in 1986 under the instruction of Puja Guruji. Swami Dheerananda is also the last disciple directly initiated by Puja Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda into sannyas on May 23, 1993. Swamiji has been serving in the United States and Canada since 1989. In 1993, Swamiji addressed the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. Now, Swamiji guides all the activities of Chinmay Mission Washington Regional Center and conducts Balvihar sessions, adult Gita classes, Vedanta classes, and children's summer camps. Although I personally haven't met Swamiji yet, I've heard so many wonderful things about him, and I hope to meet him sometime soon. We all look forward to experiencing an amazing Booklight session today, and we are very thankful for Swamiji's presence and guidance. Hari Om.
Good. Thank you, Riddhi. So I will not ask you to raise the hands who have not read the chapters 19 and 20. I'll be very happy if you have not read it, because I can bluff anything I want. If you have read it, then you'll be questioning me. Somebody, what is that? What is this? This was not said. That was not said. And if you see, Swamiji's words are very powerful. He uses the word suicidal stress and strain. How many people, how many of you are stressed? Oh, and that you can raise your hand now. So when you say, whoever is stressed, raise your hands. I'll give you right away the remedy. So the remedy, can you see it? And Shubhaniji, can you read it?
Yes, Swamiji, it says, feeling stressed, enjoy desserts.
Is it mirrored or is it straight for you to read?
Straight.
Okay, you can read correctly, easily. Good. Now, just now we had desserts also. After our dinner, we had ice cream and cookie. But we should understand the stress is not physical. Stress is mental. Strain is physical. But stress, so if I'm stressed, what I should do? Enjoy desserts. I'm from Hyderabad, you know, I read everything this way also. In Hyderabad, they read Urdu, they read from right to left. So when the mind is stressed, Shubhaniji, please read.
Mind is stressed, therefore mind's desserts are good thoughts, good feelings, and good intentions.
So when you're entertaining good thoughts, how can you be stressed? So whenever you feel stressed, you should start thinking, I should entertain good thoughts, good feelings, good intentions. But I'm not in a mood to entertain now good thoughts, good feeling, good intentions. What can I do? Then you start the japa. Japa is custom making your thoughts. Means you are entertaining the thoughts of your favorite. My favorite Ishtadevata is behind me. Do you see him behind me? All of you can see how glorious Gurudev is. So whenever I remember him, total fearlessness, absolute fear. Without fear, you can work. So the stress and strain, they come because we have not learned how to control ourselves. And because of low values, we have been entertaining false values, low tendencies. These will make us more and more agitated, disturbed. So when there are low tendencies and false values, what comes in your mind? Immediately Chinmaya Mission pledge must come in your mind. Ever ready to fight. Don't stop there. Ever ready to fight against. Fight against what? All low tendencies and false values. First to within. Then only we can face the challenges outside. If I have not faced the challenges within, if my mind is agitated, disturbed because of low tendencies and false values, how can I deal the situations outside? It's not possible. First, I should be able to control my own thoughts. My thoughts should be under my control. So japa helps to custom make your own thoughts. Means you are entertaining those thoughts. Not the thoughts are popping up. You are entertaining. So first japa helps a lot to control your thoughts. Then you can practice that. How to fight the low tendencies and false values within first, then deal the situations outside. To fight within, first we should have this, Gurudev says, we serve as an army. That's what Gurudev says, we serve as an army, courageous and disciplined. That courage and discipline helps us to fight the low tendencies and false values within and without. So in this chapter 19, Gurudev says, whenever you are agitated and disturbed, the first step is be quiet. At the same time, alert and vigilant. So the mind must be quiet. To quieten the mind is japa. And intellect should be alert and vigilant. So with the japa, quieten the mind. And alert and vigilant, because these are the qualities of the mind. Gurudev always used to say, a quiet mind, alert mind, vigilant mind is the fit instrument for any achievement. The achieving mind is a quiet mind, alert and vigilant intellect. But when the mind is not quiet, when the mind is disturbed, a disturbed mind can do nothing. So therefore, quiet mind. But a quiet mind has a tendency to slip into sleep. You all had your dinner, I think, no? And if I give a lecture in cruise control speech, same pace. It's not samatvam yoga uchyate, but same space, cruise-like. That's why they say people on highways, stick drive is better when you're driving on a highway. Or if you put on cruise, you may fall asleep. And that if you're listening to any soothing music, gone. So a quiet mind has a tendency to slip into sleep. Therefore, alert mind. But alert mind has the weakness of wandering all over. You'll be surfing all over. Therefore, vigilant mind means not to allow the alert mind to wander. So first is quiet mind. Not to allow the quiet mind to slip into sleep, alert mind. Not to allow the alert mind to wander about, vigilant mind. Therefore, these three steps, quiet mind, not to fall asleep, alert mind, not to wander about, vigilant mind. So this is the quiet, alert, vigilant mind is the best instrument. And then a goal in your life. Without a goal, where will you go? Suppose you're from ashram, you're from my center, from the parking lot. As you're going, I see you going in the parking lot. I stop you and say, where are you going? If I ask you, And you tell me, no, Swamiji, just like that I'm going. I'm asking you, where are you going? And you say, I'm just going like this. What will I understand? I'll understand you don't want to tell me where you're going. Maybe you're going to meet your girlfriend or boyfriend. See that you don't want to tell me. Because without a goal, where are you going? You have somewhere to go. So without a goal, we can do nothing. And goals can be immediate goal. Goal can be short-term goal. Goal can be long-term goal. And the main goal is lifetime goal. Short-term, long-term, lifetime. Immediate goal also you can fulfill. So keep a goal. And I like the one sentence. Gurudev always used to say, see that your 3 channels of dissipations are not affecting your life when you're marching towards your goal. The 3 channels where your mind gets disturbed. Your mind gets distracted in 3 channels. One is belonging to the past. One is to the future. And one in the live present. You must have heard that regrets of the past, anxieties for the future, and excitement, nervous excitement in the present. These 3 are the dissipating channels. So I chose the acronym FEAR. How many of you know sign language? This is F, E, A, R. Fear. So F and E stands for feverish excitement. A stands for anxieties. And R stands for regrets. Feverish excitement. Feverish excitement. Feverish excitement. Anxieties. Regrets. Fear. So sans fear means without fear. Without fear, march towards the light of your goal. So when you're marching towards the light of your goal, sans fear, your success shall follow you like a shadow. When you're marching, when you're walking towards the light, you need not even look back whether your shadow is following you or not. Your shadow shall faithfully follow you if you're marching towards the light of your goal. So success follows you like a shadow. So make sure you're walking towards, you're marching towards the light of your goal, sans fear, without fear, without the feverish excitement in the present, without anxieties for the future, and without regrets for the past. Gurudev used to tell that one of his old Tapon Maharaj's old friend, a letter came from the old friend that he's coming to meet Tapon Maharaj on so-and-so date. So Tapon Maharaj was so happy, it seems. Gurudev never saw him so happy that his friend is coming to meet him. And that appointed day, the friend comes and he saw Tapon Maharaj very happy. But his friend was unhappy. Both are old people. So Tapon Maharaj asked, what happened? Why are you so sad? Then the old man said, what to do? My grandson, very intelligent boy, but somehow he has fallen into bad habits. He is into drugs and I don't know whether he goes to college or not. We have put him in college, but college says they have never seen him. So that is the condition. What should I do? I don't know. And Tapon Maharaj said, send him to me. And the old man said, I brought him with me, but I didn't bring him here. So good that you did not bring him now. Tomorrow morning around 2 p.m. send him. Because he knows all youngsters, they wake up only at noon time for lunch. So because they go to bed at Brahma Muhurta, how can they get up early? So when they go to bed at Brahma Muhurta, the Tapon Maharaj also knew that. So ask him to meet me at 2 o'clock. So the boy next day came at 2 o'clock and Gurudev was there watching. And Gurudev thought, what is my teacher going to tell the young man? So, and then, but once the young man has come, Swamiji cannot stay there. So he told him to, Swamiji was trying little, very vaguely hear him. And Swamiji looked at, Tapan Maharaj looked at the young man and he said, what's the recent movie that's going on? Gurudev was shocked, it seems. He never thought Tapan Maharaj will talk about movies. What is the recent movie? And they were talking about movies. And the young man thought of this. I thought this old man will be like my grandfather, he will talk all boring stuff that I should improve, I should do this, I should do that. This old man is talking about movies. They both started chatting over a movie. Then Tapan Maharaj said, see, all this you are doing, whatever you are doing is great. You need not stop any of these things. But one thing can you do for me? What? Early morning at 4 o'clock, if you can get up. You may go to bed even at 2 o'clock, doesn't matter. Put alarm and wake up at 4. And walk 20 minutes from your place to any park or something, garden, and sit there for 20 minutes. And then come back. And then you can sleep off. Wake up at 4, walk 20 minutes, and sit on a bench for 20 minutes. Walk back and sleep off if you want. If you're sleepy, sleep. Can you do this one thing? And that man said, okay, I will do it for you. And they left. And the Gurudev had studied, and this boy belongs to Lucknow. And one year, Gurudev had to go to Lucknow for his yajna. This is after some years. So he wanted to know how that boy is doing. So he made inquiry where that boy is, and then he went to meet. And by the time he reached that year, he came to that boy was amazing, great success in his life, it seems. And Gurudev met him, that boy, and said, my Guru told you that go walk for 20 minutes, sit down for 20 minutes, and then walk back and sleep off. What did you do? He said, what your Guru told me, first in the beginning, I thought it is a useless thing. But since he is such an old man, nice man, we had a nice discussion. For his sake, I thought, let me go. So first day I got up and walked for 20 minutes, sat in the park. And then I was hearing the birds chirping, and a very nice, beautiful place, very cool breeze, beautiful it was. 20 minutes I sat down and came back. Second day also I went, same birds chirping and same cool breeze. Every day he was going, same repeated experience. How long will he be focused on outside? Slowly the attention turned inside. He started thinking, what am I doing? Where am I going? And all my brothers, all my uncles and my father, all they are successful businessmen. How am I wasting my life? All attention came on unto him. So from the next day onwards, entire 20 minutes, he started focusing on his life, and thus transformed himself from that time onwards. So this was the technique Tapan Maharaj gave. So walk 20 minutes, because when you wake up, you can have a quick lukewarm shower also if you like, and then walk 20 minutes, sit in a quiet place for 20 minutes, and then come back. Then you see what, because you are with your own self. So that technique Tapan Maharaj gives. Means be a sakshi. Watch what your body, mind, intellect is doing. So when you're watching yourself, you can be the architect of your own self. So witnessing your own physical activities, witnessing your own emotional beauties, witnessing your own intellectual brilliancies is a great sadhana, great spiritual practice. And devotion to the Lord always helps. So when you are in front of the Lord, Lord is the Jagadishvara, means the Lord of the universe. And I am a Jiva. I am a Jiva, an individual being. And the Lord is the totality. I am an individual, the Lord is total. So the individual creature, Jiva, is looking up to the Creator, Ishvara, with no other relationships. I am not a son, I am not a sibling, I am not a father, I am not a mother, I am not a friend, I am not an enemy, I am not a boss, I am not a das. I am just a creature invoking the Creator. With this attitude, we contemplate every day, at least for 5-10 minutes, more than enough. Then whenever you're conscious of fear, fear means feverish, excitement, anxieties, regrets, immediately start. Because the excitement is in the nervous present. Because always we are worried, so much to do, so much to do. I used to watch Gurudev. There'll be hundreds of letters on his table. He will just walk peacefully and take one letter and start writing. When I saw so many letters on his table, I thought, how will he finish all these letters? He was not worried at all. He was not with nervousness. How am I going to finish? One letter, and by the time in half an hour time, he finished all the letters. Amazing. So never get excited over the present. Never get nervous at the present activity. So be calm, be serene, be peaceful, and deal the present situation. And regrets of the past. Regrets of the past, what can you do? The past is no more there. But what can you learn out of that? All the past experiences should be your present wisdom, especially the failures of the past. So using the failures of the past, you can use them as a stepping stone for your present success. So the present wisdom should be all the past experiences, failures or success, immaterial. And what about the anxieties for the future? Anxieties for the future has not yet come. When the future is not there, when the future comes, at that time I can watch, I can see what happens, what I can do. So I do not be anxious for the future. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What will happen will happen. By my worrying over the future, will it help me? So no anxieties for the future, no regrets for the past, and no feverishness, nervousness in the present. These three are the most dissipating channels. If I can plug these three, plug your ear, listen. Ear means E is for excitement, A is for anxieties, R is for regrets. So plug your ear. Excitement in the nervous, excitement in the present. A, anxieties for the future. R, regrets of the past. So plug your ear and plunge into your theater of activity. Success is sure. And always, we should not overestimate everything. We all generally tend to overestimate. I'll get that much profits. But my actions are very, very meager. But my expectation is high. As the action, so will be the reaction. So if my actions are perfect, result also should be perfect. But I can't expect that. But I can give my best action in the live present. Only in the live present I can act. I cannot act now in the past, nor can I act now in the future. So in the live present, sans fear, I march in my theater of activity. I march towards my goal. And success has to follow. Why should I worry about the success? So never fall a prey for fear, feverish excitement, anxieties, or regrets. Be enthusiastic. But mere enthusiasm will not help. We should have the integrity, means the moral soundness. I should see the whole totality, what the totality needs. And moral background is moral foundation is very important. And talents, the craftsmanship. I should have the talent to do it. Everybody has talents. In some it may be, the talent may be latent. See the spelling? Talent and latent both have the same letters, but jumbled. So you have to, like IKEA, you have to reassemble. So recognize, discover your talent, and make your talent be blatant in your achievements. So craftsmanship also is important. And last but not the least, the discipline. A disciplined life. If you have the discipline, then you are a disciple. So Gurudev's disciples are always disciplined. The time maintenance, see how we are so particular about the time. 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock. See, that discipline is very, very important. Those who are very particular about the time, they are very good planners. So if you maintain time means, you can easily plan your schedule, plan your activities. So many things are already 27 minutes passed by. And for this graduation ceremony, one of our chicks, Yuvakendra member, Vikas, I see him in the talk. He gave a very nice talk. He said he gave his talk based upon OM, A-U-M, A for accept. Because all are facing problems. Accept your problem. But how to accept? Because as human beings, we alone have the choice. So first choose what all answers are available for your problems. Let's look at data collection. So accept based on data. Don't just crumble down under the problem. Don't get crushed by your problem. Every problem has a solution. First accept there is a problem and see what all the data available. Choose your data and then try to solve your problem. And then he said, A is accept. U is understand. Understand the problems. Understand problem means? Problem is an acronym. Purposeful, roadblock, offering, beneficial, lessons to enhance mental strength. Got it? Problems are purposeful, roadblocks, offering, beneficial, lessons to enhance mental strength. That is problem means whenever you're face to face with the problem, understand. It is to enhance my own mental strength. So whenever you're dealing with yourself, use your head. Be ruthless. But when you're dealing with others, use your heart. Be ruth. Be ruth means not ruthless. Be ruth. Because very few people use the word ruth to be kind and compassionate. So you tell, I want to be ruth. Will people understand that you want to be kind? I don't know. So with yourself, be ruthless. Use your head and be ruthless. With others, use your heart. Be ruth. Be kind, compassionate. And chapter 20, it gives very beautifully Hakuna Matata. That's the theme of 20th chapter. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. It means no worry. You know that song. So Hakuna Matata. And the worries are, Gurudev gives beautifully, are only of two kinds. One is inevitable. Another is repairable, remedial. One with the worry which is inevitable, what can you do? You can do nothing about it. So what can you do? At least you can smile. So whenever a worry comes which is inevitable, smile. Because nothing you can do about it. Therefore, give a big smile. The worry will be worried when you smile. The second one, whatever is repairable, whatever you can rectify, try to do what you can, what you know how, based upon your knowledge, your talents, try to rectify your worry. Mainly, don't waste your energy for worries. By worrying, I'm going to achieve nothing. So it's like a phantom pain. So to phantom worry, fiendish. So why should I be carried away by the phantom and fiendish worry? Never get carried away by the worry. So stop worrying. We must stop worrying. So Hakuna Matata, remember. And understand that the ego is the one that bugs us. And ego belongs to the past. Always we should remember. So ego is always all the memory, the bundles and bundles of memories of the past is ego. With the bundles of memories of the past, I try to forecast the future. So ego is never in the present. Ego belongs to the dead past or the unborn future. Therefore, we say ego does not exist because it belongs to the dead past or the unborn future. So the ego only bugs us to worry. So if ego is bugging me, you should bug the ego. How to bug the ego? Brahma Sutra, Upanishad, Gita. These are the three. It's called Prasthana Traya. Brahma Sutra, Upanishad, Gita. Start with the Gita. So Gurudev gives in the 20th chapter, he says, Name bhakta pranashyati. He says, hey Kaunteya, pratijanihi, please understand, please know for sure, please know for certain, my devotee shall not perish. So when your attention is going towards the consciousness, Chinmaya, as consciousness, nothing can happen to you. As a body, as a mind, as an intellect, something can happen. But as consciousness, so when your attention is going towards consciousness, nothing can happen to you. You will be always taken care. So Gurudev says, I take care. I have one picture in that he holds my hand. I always feel he's taking care of me. And Chinmaya means consciousness. So when you turn your attention to consciousness, you shall be taken care. Then he says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. Keep a balanced mind. Balance in joys and sorrows, pains and pleasures, profits and loss, achievements or failures. They maintain a balance because my attention is on the goal. In between, on the way to the goal, I may have success or failure. I may have pain or pleasure. What does it matter? Reaching the goal is the criteria. Like when Ganges, when she's descending from the Himalayan plains, she has decided to go to the ocean. When Ganges is going towards, flowing towards the ocean, is it a red carpet treatment? There will be rocks in front, boulders, mountains will be in the front. When there are rocks and boulders, she giggles and jumps over them. If a huge rock comes, she holds her silken sari and giggling, she goes around the rock, big rock. If a mountain comes, she rubs along the mountain, and wherever the mountain ends, wherever the mountain has the end, there she takes the bend. Thus, she reaches the ocean. Like that, our thoughts should be flowing towards our goal. Like Ganga, we flow towards our own goal. Thus, and then one more quotation he gave. One is Name Bhakta Pranashyati, Samatvam Yogochate, and Mam Ekam Sharnam Raja, Aham Tva Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami. So when your attention is on give up, don't worry about your physical or emotional or intellectual, turn towards me. Me means, when Krishna always says turn towards me, means not the Devaki Nandan or Vasudeva Nandan. Krishna was rooted in consciousness. So turn towards me means turn towards the pure consciousness, because of which you're conscious of your body, you're conscious of your mind, you're conscious of your intellect. When you're turning towards the source, you will not be affected by anything. You are safe. So stay safe by turning your attention to the pure consciousness. Now I complete here. So now you may shoot your questions. I try to cover as much as I can.
Thank you, Swamiji. Those of you who have questions, you can message me on chat and I can unmute you so you can ask, or if you prefer, I can ask for you also. So the chat is now open for questions. Swamiji, one of them was curious, what is M in Om? What Swamiji is muted. Just one moment.
I'm coming out. Was it Vikas who asked?
No, Swamiji, it was somebody else.
Good, good. I didn't tell about the M. Deliberately, I did not tell, I hope. Because M means minimize. What Vikas used was minimize. Minimize your problems. And I wanted to say how to minimize. Minimize your regrets, minimize your anxieties, minimize your regrets, anxieties, and nervous excitement in the present. Minimize fear. That's what is the M stands for. Good. So you're all listening, huh? I never thought you are listening. A and U, I said. What is A for? Accept. Accept based on your data, not blindly accept. Collect the necessary data and accept your choice based on your data, not blindly accepting. You understand. Understand problems. Problems are purposeful, Roadblocks offering beneficial lessons to enhance mental strength. So M is minimize the problems by removing fear, removing the regrets, removing the anxieties, and removing the excitements. That's you can minimize. Good.
Swamiji talked a little about japa. Can Swamiji tell us how to start that practice?
So with the mala is very good. Very easy to do with the mala. So in YouTube, if you go, type CMWRC 108. So I have chanted Gurudev's 108 names. But you should have the 27 beads mala. That's very, very helpful. So every 27th name in the 108 names, the 27th name I chant loud. So when you're using the small japa mala, when the 27th bead comes, and the 27th name, Guna Titaya Namaha comes, so 27th bead and the 27th name is coinciding. That means my mind did not wander the first to 27 names. The next, the 54th name is Nirupamaya Namaha, that I chant loud. So again, the next 27 beads when you do, when you're the 54th bead and Nirupamaya Namaha coincides. That means my mind did not wander the 54 turns of the bead. Then the 81st name is Vagmine Namaha. So at the 81st turn, 81st bead, and the 81st name, they coincide. Then my mind did not wander. And the last, you know that Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swarupaya Namaha. Thus, using the mala. So what you're doing is, when you're holding the mala, I think of the name, I say the name, then turn the bead. I think of the name, say the name, turn the bead. So what happens here? I am thinking of the same thing, saying the same thing, and doing the same thing. So my thoughts, my words, my actions, I'm synchronizing. I'm synchronizing my thoughts, words, and action. So to orchestrate my thoughts, words, and actions, the practice is japa. So if I'm Gurudev used to do continuously, whenever he's not doing anything, he'll take the mala in his hand. Always mala will be with him. So that's the best. Whenever you have nothing else to do, you are entertaining the thoughts by japa, custom making your thoughts. So thought of the japa, you're saying it maybe softly or in your tongue itself, softly saying and turning. So thought, word, action. So our entire life is thoughts, words, and actions. So I am controlling, regulating, governing, orchestrating my thoughts, words, and actions through japa. That way, you strengthen your mental, you enhance your mental strength. And every problem will be, it's a joy to face your problems. Like a math student, I was very poor in math. Not was, I am poor in math. So whenever the math subject comes, I try to hide my face. And teachers are very sadistic. When whoever is hiding, that person will be called. So my math teacher was very sadistic. Any problem she will ask, okay, you, and ask. I said, teacher, I didn't volunteer. No, you, I want you to volunteer. I don't know, miss. So she'll ask me, that problem number 12, do it 12 times. I have to write 12 times. Then I was watching every time. Whenever any child is asking, I miss for any problem, the teacher is not asking that boy or that girl. So I thought I can use that trick. So next, one of the classes, the teacher said, problem number 54. And teacher, I started jumping, I miss. All the intelligent in the math, the best in math are shocked. How come this fellow knows? They don't know. And I am saying I'm jumping. And the teacher also was shocked. How can this fellow know it? Okay, you do it, the teacher tells me. Now what can I do? I don't know the problem. So that problem I had to write 108 times. A big japa of them. That problem I memorized. If the same numbers come, I can do it very easily. So the problem is a problem only when I don't know how to do it. The students who are knowing how to do it, they're so eager. I miss. They want to do it. They want to face it. So problem is a problem only when you don't know. If you know it, it's a joy to meet your problems. Okay.
Our next question is from Manoj. So Manoj, I will unmute you.
Hari Om Swamiji, can you hear me? Hari Om?
Hari Om, yes.
Okay. My question is, how do we separate our worrying about the future, having anxieties about the future, from actually planning? Because even when I do start planning, I notice a lot of emotions will pop out, and I've lost myself in the worries, even though I came with the intent of planning.
So the future worries. So how much do we know about the future? None of us know about the future. Today only we were discussing with Neha and Vinay, astrology. There's a nice story of Tenali Rama. I see Neha and Vinay. This astrologer, he comes and tells the king, you are going to die in 6 months. Imagine the king, he gets a shock of his life, and from next day onwards, he can't eat properly, he can't sleep properly, he can't rule properly. So Tenali Rama goes and sees him and says, O king, I can prove that the astrology is wrong, but you have to give me full powers. Don't question nobody should question my authority. If I'm given the full powers, I will prove that the astrologer is wrong. So the king says, yeah, I give you full powers. And the king calls the astrologer. One day in the court, the Tenali Rama asks the astrologer, you said the king is going to die in few months. And the astrologer says, yes, I said he is going to die now in 5.5 months. Then Tenali Rama says, are you sure? I'm very sure, says the astrologer. Okay, so you are sure the king is going to die in 5.5 months. When will you die? He asked the astrologer. The astrologer said, oh, I have a long life. I'll be living for 30-40 years. Immediately the Tenali Rama takes off his sword and shaves off his head from the neck. And then looks at the king. He said he's going to live 30-40 years. He did not live even 3 minutes. What do you say? So the future, no one knows. Why should I be worried about the future? I can only act in the live present. I cannot act tomorrow, nor can I act yesterday. I cannot act now, yesterday. I cannot act now, tomorrow. Present is only in the live present I can act. That's why it's called present. It's a gift. So we can act only in the live present. But with your present knowledge or the present wisdom, this present wisdom is based on your past experiences. So past experiences becomes the present wisdom. So action always have 2 stages. The first stage is called planning stage. I plan out my work. So during the planning time, I bring forth my wisdom. Wisdom is all the experience of my past, successes and the failures. Especially the failures should be my learning curve. With the failures, I have to learn. Why did that happen? Why that failure happened? I should study. So with the present wisdom, I forecast my future. I plan my future. I make landmarks. So the planning stage, you can go in the past and you can go in the future. Once you have made a blueprint of your plan, when you're walking towards your plan, walking according to your plan, at that time, while walking, while doing according to your plan, at that time, your attention should be in your live present. Your attention should not be dissipated into the regrets of the past, nor into the anxieties of the future. Walk, because you have made a plan with your knowledge, and walk according to that plan. So why should we, future is when I'm walking towards the light of my goal, success shall follow me like my shadow. Why should I worry about it? So what do you think?
I think I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
When we try to then execute the plan, I find that often throughout the day, I'm reevaluating, recalculating like how the plan should be. I didn't understand the homework assignment, but then after starting it, then I realized, oh, it's going to take a different amount of time. So it's not so isolated, like I just plan at this time of day or something. And so it becomes like a back and forth thing that I have to do throughout my day. And I don't know how to distinguish between those. I end up just kind of staying anxious throughout the day. And at least I'm not relaxed, but at least I get my work done, is what I feel like.
But what about your plans? Are you going according to your plan?
Yes.
So as long as if you're going according to your plan, why should you worry about it? And even if there's a failure, so what? It's a learning experience for future. Why should I be scared of the failure? I am going according to my, is there anyone who has not, when learning bicycle, is there anyone who has not fallen? Everyone will, for failure is the stepping stone for success. So therefore I should not worry about, just because I'm going to fail, I will not venture into action. I have planned. That's why they say, when you are working, you should have the Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. And when the result comes, have Prasada Buddhi. These two buddhis are very, very important. Means I am dedicating my actions to the goal or Jagadishvara. All my actions are for a higher sake. Like I'm working for Gurudev's sake. Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. I'm dedicating it to Gurudev. And when the result comes, Prasada Buddhi. Prasada means what? When our culture, Hindu culture, when prasad is given, do you question who is giving it? You don't question who is giving it. You don't question how much is given. You just accept it, touch it to your eyes, and then take it because his prasad. Means prasad actually means a peaceful mind. So this tradition was in the prasadam is dramatized. The same prasada buddhi should be applied when the result comes. Prasad comes in the end. When does your result come? Does result come before the action or after the action? Always after the action, results come. So when the result comes after the action, I did not expect this result. I expected something more. But this result, I did not expect. It is much less than what I expected. But if my mind is peaceful, with a peaceful mind, I can retrace my course of action. Why did this result come? If my mind is peaceful, I can peacefully retrace my steps, the past action. And because my mind is peaceful, I will discover where the wrong has been done. But whenever the results come, it is not to my expectation. My mind is agitated. My mind is disturbed because I did not get what I wanted. With a disturbed mind, how will I retrace my steps back to detect where the action was erroneously done, where the wrong action was done, so that this result has come? Because reaction is a product of action. Action becomes a reaction in a later period of time. So action plus time is called result. Action plus time is equal to result. So when I retrace my past actions, if my mind is peaceful, I can easily detect where the wrong action happened. But mind is generally disturbed because of the result. Such a mind can never detect where the wrong action happened. And then what happens? We repeat the same wrong action again. So they say history has shown us. What history shown us? Nobody learns through history. Because nobody studies the past. Nobody looks. Even if we look in the past, with an agitated mind we look. We can never learn from the history. That's why history repeats. So, got it?
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you.
It's by experience only we slowly learn. Nothing is overnight. Nature goes, anything in nature happens very slow but steady. The blossoming of a flower is slow. The rising of the sun is slow. Everything slow but steady. So let us go slow and steady. Hasten slowly. That's what Gurudev used to say. Hasten slowly, slow and steady.
Swamiji, the next question is, how are we to determine what our goal is if we don't know what we are passionate about? And how do we discover our latent talent?
How do we discover? See, one thing I always suggest here is, when you're doing something, you're forgetting your body. While doing something, you forget your body. And you did not know how much time went by. A surgeon, best example is a surgeon, is standing in this position on the surgery table for 4 hours. 4 hours he is standing in the same position on the same 2 legs and performing the surgery. Ask the same surgeon to stand for 4 minutes in the same position without the surgery table. What will he feel? He will say, my neck is hurting, my back is hurting, my leg is hurting. Why? The mind and intellect is not preoccupied. So you will not know the physical strain if your mind intellect is totally plugged into any activity. So there where you forget your body, that is your talent. Then you say, Swamiji, when I'm watching TV, I forget my body. In which position on the sofa it is there, I don't remember. No, therefore one more I have to add. When you're forgetting your body in an action, that action where you're forgetting your body, that action should be a blessing to the society. That's why I gave the example of a surgeon. His action is a blessing to the society. My Balviyar student performed surgery on me, Vikram Nair. I could not walk for 2 minutes. I could not stand for 2 minutes. After the surgery, now I can walk 81 minutes, 18 seconds on the treadmill. So I'm so thankful to him. So your action should be a blessing to the society. Now, if your actions are blessing to the society, you'll be in demand because society needs you. So an action which is a blessing to the society, while you're performing that action, you are forgetting your body. That is your talent. So you have to figure out. I can't tell which is your talent. I can't reveal it to you. It is there for you, but you have to discover where you forget your body. And what you are doing is a blessing to the society. So whatever actions are blessing to the society, you will be in demand. You will be needed by the society. Society needs you. Therefore, you will be in demand. Okay.
Thank you, Swamiji. We have one last question from Kritin.
Oh, you can go ahead. I'm available. Don't worry about the time.
So one last question from Kritin Verma. So I will go ahead and unmute you.
Hariom Guruji, I had one question. So how do I overcome my fears if I'm constantly facing failure over and over again? How should I change my mentality?
Now, as I said, failure, if it comes, there must be a reason, isn't it? Did I retrace my steps? Why did this failure happen? As I said, if the mind is disturbed, mind is agitated, I cannot retrace with a peaceful mind. A disturbed mind can never detect anything. Even right in front of my face, if my mind is disturbed, I will not see it. Therefore, prasada buddhi. You accept the result, even if it is a failure. Accept it. And then, why did this happen? Because action, reaction. The reaction is a failure. And the failure reaction is because of an action. That action must have been a failure. But what failure? I have to detect. Where did I go wrong? So the planning is very important first. Let's say action has 2 stages. Planning stage, working stage. While planning, I make a clear blueprint for the action, and I walk according to the blueprint. And when the result comes, I know how I walked. So this plan, when you're making, you should have the know-how for your work. Not only know-how, but also common sense, which is not common. And also I can check my plan with the people who have already reached the place. If they have reached success in their life, how did they achieve that? What is their mode of achievement? How did they reach that place? That's why we follow a teacher is great. We follow the footsteps of Gurudev. So when I'm walking the footsteps of Gurudev, why should I worry? And if failures has happened somewhere, I messed up somewhere. So I have to retrace my steps to check where I did the wrong action, which resulted in this failure. So the failure is only a reaction of my own action. Not that God has decided to give me only failures. No. So, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu, this word. Are you listening to Gita 365? You should all listen to Gita 365. Every day one lecture comes, you can contemplate over it. Be great thing to do. So Gurudev's Gita 365, every day a capsule of 3 minutes or 4 minutes comes. You can think about it, chew upon that idea. That'll be really great. So if you're constantly experiencing failures, understand that you have not checked why that failure is happening. Because failure is only a reaction of your action. Somewhere the action is going wrong. So where the wrong action is happening, that you have to detect, discover it, and then do not repeat it again. That's all. That's all to be done. Nothing more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Swami.
Stop worrying, that's all. Stop worrying. Hakuna Matata.
Thank you, Swamiji. I think that's all we have time for today. And we're really grateful that Swamiji was able to join us and inspire us with Puja Gurudev's chapters of We Must. I will now pass it on to Amarji for our announcements and closing prayer.
Hariyam Swamiji, thank you so much for the amazing satsang and Q&A.
Thank you.
We have a couple of announcements. Next week we'll have a discussion section for just the chicks as scheduled. And the following week, for the final section of We Must, we will have Pujya Swami Swarupanandaji coming to conclude our session. So we started with Swamiji, and now we'll end with Swamiji. So I have here, there. So we'll be meeting with Swami Swarupanandaji for chapters 21 and 22 on June 22nd. So you shouldn't miss that one. It'll be our final session. Also, after that, we will be having a small retreat for everyone who's been part of Booklight from day one. For everyone who was able to keep up with us, for keeping up with We Must, all the different satsangs from all the different Swamijis, we have a special retreat for you. If you have not been able to keep up so far, please get in contact with one of our team members, myself, Shubhaniji, someone else on our team, or one of the chicks. Someone will direct you to us, and we'll make sure that you have the video lectures. All of our satsangs have been recorded, so please make sure that you are able to complete all of those before meeting on our following discussion section. And during that one weekend, we will have a set retreat planned out for you, a stay-at-home virtual retreat. We have a couple of ideas in mind for what we can do, but we want to make sure that we are able to capture the entire text as we've seen it and have it be a very introspective and reflective experience for everyone. Only then will this, all of these different lessons be really internalized and then practiced by everyone. So we'll have that then the following weekend. And that is all of our announcements for today. So now I'll just say concluding prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.